It's been made. And he said he also talked about them craters that they kind of fake. Because the thing is, if there's that many craters on the moon, you're going to see something hit the moon eventually. Look, it's filled with potholes.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is if you look at it with a telescope, is that's all you see is craters after craters where supposedly asteroids, big rocks have hit it. But you know what? We don't ever see any pictures of anything happening to the moon. I'm certain that we have all these electronic telescopes, looking at the moon. Why aren't we seeing it? We're not being told the truth. Does the moon, is it man-made? Does it have a device in it that deflects asteroids from hitting it? Duh.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on there. And what the answer is, who knows? But again, it ranked when they dropped when they jettisoned that piece from the Apollo when they left. It hit that and it rang as if the moon was. It rang. I forget how long it rang. At least an hour, I think, or something. But it rang a long time, like somebody gonged a bell. And that's just not. A planetary body shouldn't do that. Think about it. If you drop something on the Earth, it's not going to ring like a bell. Now, granted, the Earth's a lot bigger than the moon, but still, the moon's pretty good size. It shouldn't ring like a bell. It would really have to be hollow to do that.
Yeah, and and then if it was hollow, it's something major hit it at a high speed at 200,000 miles an hour, I would think it would just shatter the moon if it was hollow. So it tells me that there's something more about it. Now, our guest Thursday, you remember his name?
Thursday? Last Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that was Odds or Eggs. I forget how you pronounce it. Nost.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get him back on towards the end of February. So Dreamland, if you want to learn more about the moon, this guy seems to know a lot about the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, he does. He's got a lot of good theories, and he's got a lot of not just theories, but he's got the reasoning behind the theories, which is always great to hear.
Yeah, and the guy has credentials. If you want the credential, what I posted up, it was only half of his credentials up on our website when I had it up there. It was like paragraph after paragraph after page after page. This guy, has a good reputation. He even did a talk show, believe it or not, back 20 years ago, James, in science and all that stuff, and covered all these topics. This guy is really knowledgeable. And
that's where I know him from, that talk show. But yeah, listen, his bio is the longest bio I've ever seen. That was only half of it. So the guy's been around. He knows a lot of stuff. He's very smart, and he's got, again, he just doesn't come out with these theories. He's got the reasoning behind them.
No, he has photographs that he's analyzed. It tells you we're not being told the truth. We're not. And it makes me wonder. There's two things that's going on. Okay, one of two. One is when we went to the moon, we were told bluntly not to return. Okay, then that's one theory. Okay, the other theory, actually there's three. Then the second theory is we already have a moon base on the dark side of the moon, and they could do whatever they want because who's going to see us? See them. You and me aren't going to be able to have access to any satellites going around the moon or anything. And I'm sure we do have satellites going around the moon. Positive about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that either. And again, you're right. We're only going to know what they want us to know as far as that goes. But yeah, there's a few theories. One, that says we don't have the technology anymore. They lost it or whatever. But
yeah,
again,
sure.
Yeah. But you're right. Maybe there's other people there and they told us not to come back, or maybe we've already been going there secretly, because apparently, I know I've read a lot of theories where we've had Apollos going up to 17, 19, 20, up to the late 70s. And, then there's the old theory with conspiracy theories that we've never been there to begin with.
Yeah, and everything was done, okay, in Hollywood, in a stage where they brought in sand, and then they put one of the landers on the sand. And they put the rover on it. You can believe that theory too. For every little bit of information we have, you can come back with disinformation. That is the problem with ufology and anything to do with science. You're going to have one bunch of happy campers coming out and trying to bring out the information, and then you're going to have the other people that will try to discredit it. Or you get the strange people who come up with their theories that are so illogical it doesn't even make sense.
Some of them are pretty out there, but that's the thing. There's so much of it. It clouds the whole enigma of the whole thing. You're like, what's the real story?
Well, you ever think maybe we're the moon? And the moon is not actually the moon, it's the Earth?
Oh, that would be... Now you're confusing me. So now you're going to get people started that there's flat moon now.
No, yeah, flat moon, yes. What my theory is, maybe there is a race of aliens or Martians or humans that, are inside the moon. The moon is nothing but a sphere, a big giant UFO that was brought here, when Mars was dying or whatever. And they came and populated the Earth. And you and me are Martians, and they are the ones still on the moon that are actually protecting us against other aliens that want to do harm to us. Kidnap you and take you to a barbecue and have you lay it over the spit, and then they take Hunt's 57 sauce and put over you.
I will tell you a little bit of science that kind of corroborates what you're saying about maybe we're from Mars. And that is the Earth's gravitational and its effect on us through our genes and our effect through the day and that kind of aspect. If you look at Mars, we are more suited to be from Mars than Earth. I've seen the science on that. It's kind of mind-blowing, really, but it fits the theory more so than being normally from Earth. But, who knows? Maybe we originally was on Mars and now we're here. I don't know.
The survivors of the Holocaust of Mars, built this giant spear of a spaceship to escape because they knew that their planet was going to die. And they escaped and came to Earth and created humans. And they merged their DNA with a created DNA to survive on this planet. And here we are. I'm going to write a book about this. You can get it for $19.95 on Amazon, but I'll have a special for $14.88 in a softback.
What are you going to put disclosure in the title somewhere?
No, I'm going to say I'm not even going to say it. Somebody on the internet will steal my idea.
Yeah,
you know that.
They will.
They already try. You know what I get a kick about? And I don't blame everybody because somebody has to start out. I've been in broadcasting, as I said, 8,463 times that I started out in 1976 in commercial radio. But there's a lot of people out there, like on Facebook and other places, right, that go buy a $13 microphone, go get their laptop, put it on the coffee table, get their beer, and they're drinking beer and they plug that microphone into their laptop. And now they have created a podcast or a radio show. And then they have enough balls to email me and say, hey, would you like to come on my show? And I go, well, how many listeners you got? I got 93. Okay, Guthrie, you got 93 listeners. But why would I want to come on your show?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know. And then the guy also had enough nerve to ask me about, well, have you done much investigations out there on the paranormal? I said, no, I'm a talk show host. I don't have time to go out and do, like on the foot, and do investigations. I interview people. Right. Now, does that mean I'm not as smart as somebody who goes out and does the investigations? If you've been doing the paranormal for 40 some years, you learn a lot.
Yeah, you do, especially from the guests. Like, you would have to by proxy whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah, it just gets all absorbed in that gray matter. But the point is, no, I don't go on to people's podcasts. And no, I don't bring podcasters onto my show. You have to do the same thing I did. I was retired when my friend called me up and said, hey, get back on the internet, which I never was. And he said, get on the radio. And I did. And I started out with hardly any people, and I worked my way. You got to do it on your own. I'm not going to sit there and give another person a boost for their show. I can't do that. You got to do what I did. You got to put 12, 13 hours a day in, 7 days a week, and work hard to make your show successful. I'm not going to help you. So I'm sorry if I sound mean and sound like a terrible person. I just learned my lessons.
Yeah, and in all honesty, to make it more organic and better, you'd have to put in your own blood, sweat, and tears and money into it anyway to make it legit. And really, I mean, seriously. Well,
if you want to, I get a kick out of people want to be a talk show host, and they think they're going to get picked up by a radio station immediately. It doesn't happen that way. You have to really work hard to build up your listenership. 2 is, you can't do it on a $13 microphone. You can't do it on a $100 microphone. I sit here and I have the same equipment any major radio station has, minus the transmitter out in the backyard and the radio tower. I have all the other equipment they have, just as good quality, and maybe even better than some radio stations. By the way, I've been on a couple radio stations in the Philippines. I was interviewed on BBC Radio here yesterday about our guests we had on Friday about, Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you know a lot about all kind of Jack the Ripper, and he answered some of my questions too, the theories I'd heard through the years and stuff I've read on. So, yeah, he was very, very knowledgeable in the Jack the Ripper. That was very good. Yeah,
we're going to get him back on also in late February. He had a lot of knowledge about Jack the Ripper, how the name got, stuck with him, and what he did. I didn't realize he was that savage to these women when he killed them. Scary. Really, somebody taking that much rage and doing that much, to people's bodies. It was scary just to find that out. But he'll be back on in February. We're going to talk about, Dracula.
Oh, yeah. I love the old Hammer Dracula. You know that already.
We're not talking about Hammer Dracula. Okay, stop thinking about those women in the nightgowns. Please, James, come on. Hey, a big shout out to Metatron Power and Light, my friend Tom. If you go to our website, nightdreamstalkradio.com, you'll see, when you first come up to the website, you'll see the group. It does a lot of our bumper music for our show. Nice people. And also, if you scroll down, you can find out where you can get their music too. Anyway, we'll be back with the news in about 3 minutes. So stay tuned to Night Dreams Talk Radio.
Life's journey, some ask themselves why the big time is passing by. They want it all and they want it now. No need to wonder how or why. They decide to make a connection with the bearer of life from the other side. It's a self-centered new world reflection. It's a one-way ticket for a hell of a ride. They're making a deal. Whether down at the crossroads or Hollywood and Vine, they're making a deal. Gonna have it all for a moment in time. You may be a kingpin drug dealer who wants the competition out of the way. You may be an elite politician who wants total control and a power play. You may be an aspiring entertainer who wants to